I didn't mute in that recording. I don't give a shit. It's fine. Zeke, we now have a new transition for the show. That's going to be what plays whenever we go from end of break back to the start of the show. So thank you.
Love it.
One second. Hold on.
Okay. What are we holding on for?
Okay, put that gift back on.
Okay. All right. I don't know if it's going to play. We'll do this, and then we'll do that. There you go. I like it. I like it. Not only was it funny,
good, right?
it also got the VOD claimed. Thank you very much, Zeke.
No, it was under 8 seconds.
Oh, well, we curse anyways. The ad rates are down
Fair
here a
use.
shit ton, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
That's how it goes on YouTube. It doesn't matter. Where do we want to start? Do you guys want to answer some more questions? We'll just kind of do a foil of what we, or same thing we did last time. Because I think we already have 3 questions from Crazy Dan himself. Yeah, we do. And Zeke, the first question is for you.
Yep. Okay.
If you are generally thinking about starting a free company, which is a guild in Final Fantasy XIV, what sort of details do you think you'd be wanting to give it? Special rules, etc.
Details.
Yeah,
Not sure what details mean.
I'm not sure either. I think that means like who's invited, how do you get in, when does it begin, what's the name, is it an RP only FC, what's going on?
It would be RP only.
Okay.
You'd have to talk in character the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Like type in character.
Sure.
You'd have to address me as my lord or the like.
Uh-huh.
You would have to, every time I came into your presence, you would have to emote, bow, kneel, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Other than that, I say like
It's free reign.
I'd like it to be like a thieves guild. So like
Rogues only?
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not rogues only, because you can be a thief without having to do the rogue class or whatever. But,
Sure. Okay.
I think it would be like Les Mis, like that group of people that are just like we were like, or not Les Mis. I'm sorry. Like Oliver. It'd be like I'd be the main guy, and you'd all be my like thieving orphans.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it would be like that for sure.
Okay. All right. There you go. Those are the details. Easy peasy.
Yep. And then it would be, let's see, what would my logo be? My logo would be like it would be the shocker. It would be my hand emote, the shocker. That's what it would be.
Okay. All right.
Just cause. And we wouldn't tell people, like, if they didn't know what it meant, we tell them like, we cut off your ring finger if you fucking are disloyal. Well, really, it just means 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Now we're really demonetizing
I
YouTube.
love Ghostface. Ghostface. So dad. It's so dad right now.
I'm disappointed in you, son. I expected better.
We're both disappointed in you, son.
Listen, you're not disappointed, and you don't expect better, so don't lie.
Son, you know me well.
It's true. You know us both well.
You're not even my real dad. I'm gonna go stay with Dave. He's better than you.
How dare you?
Next question. I would be lying. Sorry, I was reading the question beforehand, but those are not the rules. I have to just read the question without reading it beforehand. I'm sorry. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any aspirations to ask you guys questions in person. Do you imagine there will be a setting in the future where the 3 of us will be holding a live show and taking questions? Or where the 3 of you, sorry, not 3 of us. I imagine it would have to be TwitchCon 2020, but I figured I would ask. Probably.
That's easy.
What?
We've done that many, many times.
Yeah. I think the next one will probably be TwitchCon 2020, I would think. Not this year. Co's got kids. Can't really get out from the house, but yeah. Me and Zeke will both be there. Yeah. I think we're going to try to do a drop frames this year.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but obviously like that's up to Twitch, and we can't just say we're going to do one. Twitch has to like allow us to do a show from their stage. So we'll let you guys know when we know more details on that. But Yeah, we might do a Q&A. We've done Q&A segments at PAXs, but we kind of stopped going. We being me and Co mostly. Zeke still goes to a lot of the PAX shows sometimes. You were the most recent of us, but I guess all three of us have stopped going to PAXs completely.
Yeah, I haven't gone in the last couple of years since Twitch stopped having a presence.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense. And then I wasn't gonna.
Unfortunately, if we do go to TwitchCon this year, we're gonna be broadcasting from the men's room. Just want you to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Next question. This is role play related, so it doesn't necessarily have to do too much with drop frames. But he says, as a fan, I've enjoyed numerous amount of role play settings that you have given us here on the channel, some of which I would very much like to see make a return. My question is, are there any particular role play shows that would be interested in resurrecting in the future? And then it says, in parenthesis, balance of power, hint, nudge, nudge. We don't really have, we're kind of like, my mentality is always to the next thing, not really revisiting the past so much. We will be doing something like Star Wars related this fall. Jesse just wrapped up Roleplay Oddballs, and I think he's kind of getting eager to do some Star Wars stuff with the new movie coming out. So we'll have, more details on that later on once the travel and con season kind of ends. But in terms of like resurrecting old shows, no, we're pretty happy with everything as right now. It's getting to a point where we can really only facilitate so many shows on the channel before the channel becomes shows and not just a stream. Like there has to be a balance there, and I have to have some days off because
balance of power, you might say.
Some would say that. Some might say that. Yeah.
Star Wars would be cool. Like as probably the person who's been on the most of your shows. Like I think it'd be between like me and Max, probably, and Adam, I guess.
Definitely of the newer shows. Yeah, I would say you and Max and Adam. Yeah.
But I would love to see a re-up of maybe with I would love to get just a few more Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
In fact,
I mean, hey, I didn't kill that show.
Oddly enough, dude.
People stopped showing up to that show because it was so hard to schedule. So that's on you guys.
Oh yeah. No, listen, yo.
No, I'm not saying
blame around, yo.
I'm throwing blame because chat could be like, yeah, JP, where's Blades? And I don't want to go down that whole fucking
I see.
hole again.
Don't blame JP for Blade.
Yeah.
You're going to blame someone, blame ammunition. She's terrible.
Yes, really, it's her fault. I can't Jesus Christ.
It was worth it just to see Ko's face. Just like, oh.
Yeah.
Anna's an angel. You take that back.
Is she, though? We've seen her. Well, you haven't seen her RP, but Anne's a cold-blooded killer in two or more characters that we know of. So.
Yeah, I did an entire show with her, JP.
Oh, that's right. You were on the light side. Yeah, you're right. That's right. Yeah.
Anne and I had some of the best moments during that show. Like that show was like some fantastic role playing, like some RPing. I mean, and you may not think it, but Anne she can actually take a joke.
Yeah, she takes a joke.
Put off that kind of air.
She just responds the same way as not taking the joke, right? You can't tell.
Exactly, for sure.
Yeah,
and I love it. Like she's one of my favorite people to watch just deadpan destroy someone.
She's more deadpan than me, which is like that's a lot. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, that would just be cool. I would love to revise or reprise, whatever.
I think
Aldo was such a fun character to play.
To do again, exactly. Cool. Those are the questions for the week. We'll jump into a little bit of news. There's not too much going around. Summertime's usually kind of the dead zone, especially for whatever reason this month specifically. But some of the bigger news stories. Have you guys been seeing what's going on with Eve? Every once in a while, Eve will pop up with these stories where, some crazy guy's infiltrated a giant conglomerate and then like stolen a bunch of stuff. But it's actually the developers this time have launched NPC fleets in a huge surprise attack on players across the entire game. And people are losing, like conglomerates are losing entire space stations and buildings and ships, and no one knows why. And it's pretty fucking cool that the developers are just like, yeah, we're going to fuck over the player base and not tell them why. Like it was completely a surprise attack.
Them turning the servers off or something?
Yeah, it was like a complete surprise attack. no one knew it was coming. There was a random report of like, hey, this building just went offline, like this type of stuff. And then they like went over there to investigate, and NPCs just started attacking and obliterating everyone.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, someone in chat just said all PvP factions have stopped all hostilities to deal with the aliens. That's how big of a deal it is, which is pretty crazy to think about. And really only something that could happen in kind of the sandbox Eve world. So if you're in that world, you're probably having a hell of a time right now.
Are they like successfully allying the server versus the AI kind of thing?
I guess, yeah. I guess so. It's cool.
That's pretty badass, man.
That's pretty badass for sure.
Wow.
There's a lot of different websites you can go and read up on it. That's just a very like topical view. I'm sure a lot of this has been going on for about a week now, so I'm sure there's a lot of other cool things that have happened as a result of this. But those Eve guys, they've got something special for sure in their game, in their community, and how that whole thing is structured. That they can do something like that, and it's a big deal when they can get like these the entire player base, which is constantly, conniving against one another and infiltrating each other with different spies, like social experiments across like years of befriending these people. And they're like, actually, we're going to all work together now. So pretty cool thing going on with EVE Online. I've never actually, I know what that game is. I know that it's mostly played in spreadsheets, but Co, have you ever touched anything in EVE? Have you ever been inside that world?
I played only a little bit of EVE. I mean, it's a really cool game, but it's a very slow game. It's the kind of game that you play in weeks and months, not hours and days.
Sure.
But I mean, from what I understand, there's once you get up to the higher levels, like it becomes a lot more engaging, a lot more interesting. Like the PvP and stuff like that apparently is pretty engaging. But I played it for like a month and a half, and I never really got anywhere with it. It never really grabbed me. The fact you don't really have the direct control over your ship. It's all like clicking in menus and sending them off and stuff like that. So for me, it wasn't super engaging.
Yeah. It's definitely a game catered towards a specific type of person, for sure.
Yeah.
What else is going on? A little bit of older news in terms of the news cycle. I guess it's only about a day or two old. And we don't have much to talk about it, so we can jump into this. G2A is once again in the news, doing scummy things. They've started to take out sponsor ads on Google, which means when you search for popular indie games, you get G2A links popping above their own, the own publisher rights or the publisher-owned games, and they make zero money on the games if people buy them through the ads. And then when you try to turn the ads off, it basically does not let you. So, once again, keep being awesome, G2A. Keep just being a complete piece of shit. And Rami was also commenting on it as well. But go ahead, Zeke.
No, and this is exactly what he said, I believe in. And most developers would agree with this, or most developers that I've seen commenting on this would agree with this. If you're going to buy something from G2A, stop, pirate it instead. And this is from the game developers.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they'd rather you get their game for free than pay G2A.
Yep.
And also because you're like the non-proven shit about stolen credit cards and that kind of stuff. Like it's not proven. Like there's no like criminal cases, but it's shady as fuck. And developers themselves, the people who make the games, are saying pirate it. Pirate our game rather than pay G2A for it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's pretty much that. Like, there's not much that I think you're gonna find varying opinion on this. It's shit.
Well, here's the thing. The thing that most I actually read a little bit about this from like the developer standpoint.
Yeah.
The problem with it is, stolen credit cards are being used to purchase tons of keys on key buying, like legitimate key buying sites where you can buy like lots of them at the same time.
Right.
Then they're selling them. Then they're charging back on the credit card. They're doing chargeback claims against the developers. And that's what's costing the developers money.
Yep.
Is that they're purchasing all these keys and then claiming a fraudulent credit card purchase. So they have to get it refunded.
Yep.
That is one of the multiple shady and underhanded things GTA is doing to make money.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It sucks. It's
I still
definitely-
think it's hilarious that that's like the only company I've ever known that has literally had you pay extra to buy insurance on the purchase you're making through that company.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, hey, we'll pay this thing, and for a little bit extra, we'll make sure you get the right thing.
Yeah. Making money on our money. Right. It's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also like people who are talking about. Okay, let me just preface this by saying this is all hearsay and conjecture. This is shit that I've read. The truth being, I'm telling the truth about what I've read from like developers and stuff. This is from other people who have said like I had a subscription to G2A or something like that, and due to inactivity, they kept charging me for not being active.
That was me. In fact, I was a G2A partner back when G2A everyone was for a while,
yeah.
and I looked. You know, they started doing some shady stuff, and I kind of made a big public deal about leaving G2A as a sponsor because I didn't agree with their business practices, and I left all the money that I made with G2A in my G2A account. So over the last 3, 4, 5 months, every other day I get an email saying inactivity fee charged. And I go inside and it says, we have removed a portion of your G2A balance because you have not logged in. So we wanted to let you know, unless you come back to G2A, we will continue to take money out of your account that you've earned until you come back.
It's rough. Yeah.
I just put the emails on ignore.
Yeah. It's fucked up. That's
Yeah,
G2A.
it's like the scummiest. Like they're just, it's a scum company from day one. That entire company has just been different ways that they can get money out of gamers in underhand and devs especially. They don't just go after gamers; they go after developers. That's one of the reasons that I think it's so messed up.
Yeah.
Like where some companies screwed the person buying the game. Like G2A is totally fine screwing the people making the games, and they've shown that over and over and over and over and over again. And every time a hole is plugged up, 2 more spring a leak.
Yeah. Don't buy from G2A. That's all we'll say. No one wins except G2A. What else is going on? Also, if you want more information on that, I think Rami's been tweeting and retweeting things about it as well. I don't know if there's like a centralized place that we can send you for it, but twitter.com/THA_Rami, RAMI should have some information. What else? Zeke, you were watching a bunch of SGDQ 2019. They raised over 3 million. I didn't get a chance to watch, but a lot of people were saying like the runs were actually crazy this year and they were really entertaining.
Man, it was a fucking awesome year for SGDQ.
SGDQ.
For those you don't know, I'm sure you do. You're watching Twitch. But if you don't know, SGDQ stands for Summer Games Done Quick, an offshoot from Awesome Games Done Quick. They raise money for a charity. This SGDQ has been Doctors Without Borders for the last couple.
Yep.
And then AGDQ raises it for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, I think is what it is. PCF? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's a week-long thing, 24 hours a day of just speedruns. And 24 hours. Like, it's on from Sunday to Saturday all day. Or Sunday to Sunday. I'm not sure. Anyways, but the runs this year some of them were some of the best speedrunning content that I've seen in ages.
Wow.
The standouts for me, and I've watched almost all of them by now because I'll watch the VODs. It's one of those rare like broadcasts that I will go back, put the VODs on, and play like Dragon Quest is what I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
But Mike Tyson Punch Out blindfold. We've seen it before on the Nintendo, but he did blindfolded Wii Punch Out.
Right.
That was Zallard 1 was fucking phenomenal to watch. And I don't know like if he's just like super shrewd or it was just an amazing run, but he was talking about like during the whole run, it's like, I'll probably have to restart this a few times before I get it right. And he's like, or I could just like in the middle, I was like, or I could just knock him out now, I guess. And like, it was so amazing to watch it because if he was telling the truth, it was a fucking amazing run. And if he wasn't, he's a fucking shrewd ass, like showman. He knows like how to build up that pressure, the suspense and excitement.
Right.
That was awesome. The relay, the Kaizo Mario relay race with 8 different superstars of the Mario speedrunning world, where they had 2 teams of 4 and they had to like switch off. Brand new, like super difficult Mario Maker. Like if you know what Kaizo is, it's like just super difficult Mario Maker shit.
Yep.
Like Panga and like all that kind of stuff. That was awesome to watch. They had like 6 brand new levels. It was all blind. They all went into it completely blind, had never seen any of it before, and they just rotated. They had to learn the level and all this kind of stuff. That was fucking fantastic. I personally, like a guilty pleasure, I loved the dive kick race. They did a speed run of dive kick, which is like this silly ass 2-button fighting game. But those guys were so fun to watch, and the lead just went back and forth and back and forth. Like it was such a suspenseful, like awesome race, and also like it's a meme. Like the characters in it are fucking meme characters, like Jabaited, Jabaily's in it.
Yeah. What are the
Mm-hmm.
parameters of that race? Who can just beat as many AI as possible? What is?
No, there's this like a story mode.
Oh, so it's just getting through story mode.
Yes.
Okay.
The first I think there was like 6 randomized competitors AI competitors that you had beat, and then both of them had to take on the last boss, which was S-Kill.
Right. Yeah. Seth Killian. Yeah.
It was such. I mean, go back and watch. It's not that long. I think it's only like, I think it's half an hour or less long, and it's just fantastic all the way through. And they played with Donkey Kong bongos because there's only 2 buttons in the game.
Sure. Why not?
So they just played with the Donkey Kong conga drums. It was great. But what else? There was another one.
Bunch of people in chat are saying
man.
the Zelda randomizer was good.
The Zelda randomizer, that was awesome. With I thought the Zelda plus Metroid thing needed some work to be a little bit more exciting, I guess.
Zelda plus Metroid?
Because it wasn't a race. They did a Zelda plus Metroid randomizer on the same cartridge.
Oh.
Basically, Zelda takes up like, I don't know, like 254 like whatever on a cartridge, like memory spots. And Zelda takes up 1 through like 30 or something like that. And coincidentally, Metroid takes up like 50 through blah blah blah. So you can put them on the same cartridge technically. So they did that. And so they did like a little randomizer thing. And that was pretty cool. But the Zelda 1, the very first Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo randomizer, that was fucking cool to watch too. If you ever watch any Zelda randomizers, they're always fun. But this one, obviously, because it was more like public and like a big event and stuff like that, it just made it that much more fun to watch. That was really cool. I will say, like, I was surprised, absolutely taken aback at how much I enjoyed watching. I kind of skipped over it, and then I was like, I'm getting down to the shit I don't want to watch. I'm just gonna put it on. So I watched Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
Those guys crushed it. Like the game itself was okay, but the commentators and the chat and the donations and shit like that was actually like super fun to watch, man.
Huh.
Pet that Eevee shit, like because the game, it was like 3+ hours to speed run that game. And they did it like, and it was entertaining all the way through. Guys, it was those guys did a very, very good job. What else? Trying to think of anything else. Tetris Effect would have been cooler if he was in the VR headset. Like that was my only complaint. I was like,
Oh yeah.
man, you're not doing it right, dude.
Yeah.
He obviously he's a speedrunner, wants to do it as fast as possible, and stuff like that. But I mean, I wanted to see it. I was like, Tetris Effect, is he gonna be in the VR? Like, I haven't seen a VR speedrun yet, and I wanted to see it. But he was great. Don't get me wrong. He was skilled and informative and all that kind of shit. But I wanted it to be in VR.
Cool. Are you watching the VODs on their YouTube? Or are you watching it through Twitch? Where are you watching it at?
I'm watching the VODs on Twitch, actually, because the GDQ people were nice enough to put chapters.
Oh, awesome. When they would swap games. That's easy
Oh,
to
yeah.
watch for sure.
They're chaptered out and there's like 5 multiple like 30, 40 hour long things, but they're like 30 chapters. Like this game. Great.
Cool.
Actually, they actually did a pretty good job with that. I did not see Titanfall 2. I heard that run was great. I didn't watch it because I actually want to do it. Like it's on the way back burner, but it's something I want to do, but I didn't want to watch it.
Titanfall 2 is a
I
hell
heard
of
it
a
was
single
great.
player for sure. Someone in chat was saying there's a VOD thread on the speedrun subreddit that has like all of the different things with links.
Oh
to all
yeah,
of
I'm
it,
sure
so.
you can go on gamesdonequick.com or I'm not sure SDA is still that related, but yeah, you can go on their Games Done Quick website and you can find it there as well.
Yep. Cool. Congrats to them. They raised, I think, just over 3 million. So coupled with Guardian Con, their streams, that's like 6.5 or something like that raised in 2 weeks, which is pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, a lot of stuff. What else is out there? There was some stuff that happened. It was. I kind of feel like this came as one of those things where people were like trying to get or like catch Twitch and fucking up. But there was a lot of news around it where after they announced rather their subscriber streams last week, people are reporting or saying that they read through the toss and that now it says that Twitch's new subscriber-only streams appear to break the toss of many game companies if you play their games while in that mode, including Riot, Blizzard, Valve, and more.
Yep.
And yeah, yep. That's all I have to say. Of course it is. I think that it's on those companies, obviously, to enact that stuff and to go against it. And I'm sure that the press around that would, I don't know. I don't think people would be like, oh, those game companies are doing it wrong because it's in their right completely. But I don't know how that would go. How do you think that would be perceived by the community if like Blizzard came out and shut down a popular streamer's stream because they were behind sub only? Do you think the hatred towards a sub only stream would outweigh the hatred of the company shutting down a popular stream of that game?
I think it'd be totally fine.
Well, I'm saying, how do you think the community would react? Not your own opinion. I don't know where the community would fall on that.
They'd probably hate it. Well, okay, here's the thing. The people that can no longer watch their favorite broadcaster play the game they wanted to watch and play would probably be furious. Because
Okay.
in their eyes, especially people that paid money to the broadcaster to watch that particular game, like they're going to feel slighted. At the same vein though, if this is in the TOSs, which I mean there's that one tweet going around where they actually like number it, like here's Blizzard,
Yeah, they break it down.
Riot, here's this, and it shows like the highlighted line in each one of them. I mean, there's only so much you can say when it's that black and white in front of you and somebody still chooses to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it's like, yeah, people could be mad at the company, but at the end of the day, it is 100% on the caster. So I think at the end of the day, that would probably come out. But I don't know, man. It's a weird situation because, like, from what I understand, because Twitch gives a portion of it viewable without payment, that is significant. So the fact that you can watch 5 minutes of a stream without paying, that, from what I understand, legally is significant. Because it arguably means that for 5 minutes it is free content.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Like it's such a weird legal gray area. Like I don't know if we're ever going to see anyone get claimed for it.
Yeah, and I also think that if you go take a look, I've been kind of keeping somewhat of an eye out just to see like the popularity rather of subscriber streams on Twitch, and like it's not. There's very few broadcasters like utilizing it apart from like that one time where they just want to see what it's like when they sub only stream on their stream.
I actually was linked a tweet of a caster who has gone sub stream only.
Yeah, was it?
And in his eyes, it is something he loves and something he really likes, and it apparently has made his streaming experience a lot better. But to be fair, this is a gentleman who is normally, by his own admission, exceptionally toxic. He's been banned off Twitch multiple times, and or timed out, temp banned, whatever.
Right.
It's a League of Legends stream named Gross Score, and but he said like he he has trouble streaming sometimes because his community is so toxic towards him. And in his eyes, this is his words, not mine.
Sure, sure, sure.
And in his eyes, by putting up the sub barrier, like he is keeping out all of those people. And he has said that he has really enjoyed the streams lately behind the sub barrier because everyone there is people who have paid to be there. So I think they're less liable to be assholes to him.
Huh. So it's like he moderated his chat for once.
Sort of.
Huh.
Now,
I wonder how that. It's weird that you can moderate a chat and it'll actually get better. It's
the very quick argument there is, well, why don't you just keep your channel in sub mode?
Right.
Because then you would only see those exact same people. But again, that's I haven't looked too much into it. I've just seen the tweets, and there are people out there that are experimenting with it, and we'll kind of see where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna. I think a lot of the people doing sub-only mode are also the same people that will be public about how they're feeling about it. And it will also be very telling to see in 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months if they're still doing it.
Well, right. That's the test is a month or two.
That alone will be the test.
Yeah.
So,
that's the
I would
test.
say realistically 1 to 2 months. Because at that point, you're going to start seeing the sub drop off.
Yeah.
At that point, you're going to start seeing how it's going to realistically affect the growth of your channel. So if people are still using sub-only streams after 2 months, like that'll be a good verified kind of test, a milestone to know that it's working for some people.
Yep.
Do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
Juice Warren says, didn't know Ko is a Grow Score fan. I am not. No, he at all, for the record. And not that I don't like him. I have not seen any of his content. Unfortunately, I have only seen everything negative about him because, of course, that's what makes the news.
Yeah.
I don't watch League of Legends, so I've never seen him. I have no opinion on him personally, but I have seen the many, many things about it. And you do your own research and make your own decision.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's
what
the test
what do
this
you
months
think
from now. Go ahead.
What do you think that is going to do for sub VODs? I know this is something like that hits kind of close for you, JP.
In the sense,
like as far as like DMCA's and stuff like that.
As in, am I worried about being DMCA'd from these companies?
Well, it's because we're talking about holding it behind a paywall and having the company
right,
get on your ass for it
because they were recorded live and public. Fact that odds are generated in the public space, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, legally it's very different.
5-minute thing is such a gray area because theoretically the show is always available in a public space, even on sub VODs, because you can argue at any moment someone can see it for free. So that's why there's this weird thing going on right now. If they didn't have that 5 minutes, if it was just you had to pay to see a single second of it, I bet you these companies would be a lot more aggressive. Because at that point, it's like a black and white flagrant violation. You are having to pay somebody to watch that developer's game. And that I think would be a lot more of an open and shut kind of situation.
Yeah. I think the biggest, if something does happen in the sense of one of those companies like takes legal action, it will only be to set a precedent so that other people don't, a legal precedent, that is, so that if they leave it untouched for a certain amount of time, then once you go into court, you could say, well, why now? Why didn't you do this back then? Like, it wasn't a problem then. Why is it a problem now? And that could have some legal weight to it. Granted, I'm not a lawyer, so keep that in mind. Blah, blah.
For the record, none of us are. And none of us know what you're thinking, and we are not experts in this. This is just stuff we've heard in our travels across the Twitch sphere.
Yeah. And so, who knows if anything will ever happen like that. Again, I truly do feel that, like, this was born, this information going around where people kind of dug this stuff up was born as like a haha, I got you, Twitch, you fucked up type of thing. When in actuality it's like, we don't fucking care. Who cares? Stop putting this stuff out there. No one cares. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna do
by
anything.
the way, the sub only streams have been out for a week now.
Right.
I'm curious, like, was there a lot of like cam girling stuff going on or like chatterbait stuff? Because I haven't heard a single fucking thing about anything like that.
I don't know.
Weird.
But I understand even a lot of the people that were like, oh, this person are doing sub only all the time. Like, I don't even think a lot of that's happened.
Yeah. It
Seems
seems like
I'm just saying because the outcry from fucking people who read the tweet immediately And we're like, oh my God, people are going to start fucking, they're going to be fucking on Twitch behind a sub wall. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah.
Wait,
It
they
didn't
are?
happen. Yeah, right?
Yep.
There
Well,
goes
I
my
am
stat.
right now, but you just can't see it. It's below here, and that's against TOS.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Anything from here down is all out of TOS range. It's all bad stuff.
That's the no toss zone.
All
Wait,
kinds
what?
of stuff's going on down here.
Barry, what are you doing down there?
Yeah, you got to keep Barry under the desk. I mean, he's a
Damn
rowdy
range
guy.
God.
Man. Here's something I didn't know. This is news to me. Apparently, there will not be a Google Stadia beta before the launch. So you're just going to have to trust that it works. They're doing a terrible job selling people on this shit. They're doing a real...
At this point, it better work.
Like what? There was also a quote, now that I think about it, from one of the heads there at Stadia. What was that? He was asked about like data limit caps, and he had such a stupid fucking take on it. I don't want to find
Well,
this.
I don't say that. I don't,
What is this? 2015?
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Zeke.
gotta tell you, like, the first thing that came to mind was that fucking, like, that's a bold move, Cotton. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pans out for him.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. So who was this? Oh, this is Google Stadia VP Phil Harrison. Quote, the ISPs have a strong history of staying ahead of consumer trends. And if you look at a history of data caps in those small number of markets, and it's actually a relatively small number of markets that have data caps, that's not true. The trend over time when music streaming and download became popular, especially in the early days when it was not necessarily legitimate. Jesus. Data caps moved up, said Harrison. When pressed to answer whether or not he believes ISP could be trusted to raise data caps, Harrison responded that, quote, ISPs are smart and they understand what they're in the business of keeping customers happy and keeping customers with them a long time. What fucking world is he living in?
Well, the first part is smart. The first part is absolutely correct. They are smart. The second part is totally fucking false.
Smart at ripping us
Totally fucking false.
off. Jesus. Like, seriously. No, like ISPs are smart. That's right. At making it so they monopolize areas, provide the least possible service, completely not deliver on what people are paying for.
Yep. Nope. Co's gone. They just cut him off.
What?
What's happening? He's back. He's back.
Okay.
Wait.
What is
This is what happens.
doing that.
This is when it starts. This is.
What is going on here?
This is it. You see?
Co.
This is Spectrum.
There we go. He's back. I think he said some
Tell
really
me-
nice things about Spectrum, right? Yeah.
Tell me you did
Sir,
that on
please
purpose.
leave my
That
house.
was-
Please.
Listen, sometimes we just have to understand these are big companies with a lot of moving parts. And it's okay for big companies to make mistakes. And we should just trust them and keep giving them money. And hopefully they'll provide us adequate service.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
The bit rate's going
I
up.
just fixed up. That was like scarily weird.
We're going.
Um,
It's better. It's much better now. All
If
right.
that
I
was
honestly-
a ploy, dude, I am so just impressed by
Ma-
your like total production value on that shit.
Make sure
If it was
to
fake, holy God.
make sure to buy
Yeah, that was-
Google
That was
Stadia.
pretty good. It wasn't it? Scripted.
Pre-order now. It's available.
Good.
Let's move on. Jesus Christ.
Hold on, I gotta go light my red Google candle and get my chicken sacrifice real quick.
No, but seriously, like that is wild to hear him say that. Like that shows a fundamental lack of understanding of residential internet. Like
Yeah.
he is that is basically somebody like in royalty being like, "What are you talking about? People don't go hungry. There's food everywhere. Just look.
Yeah.
There's some there, and nobody's
Look at all this.
hungry."
I'm throwing food away.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a quote that was, man. Also, I've pre-ordered Google Stadia. Let me just put that out there because I want to see if it fucking works. But after all this shit, like, man, whew. It's gonna be a crazy thing.
Yeah.
What
Let
else?
us pre-order the bad stuff
Yeah.
so you don't have to.
Exactly. Let us use your the sub money that you guys give us to support and putting this stuff out there to see if it actually fucking works. Don't pre-order it yourself. That's what I say.
Somebody in my chat says, well, that's mostly in the USA what you're talking about, right? Yes. Yeah, it is notorious. Although it does
Sure.
happen in other parts of the world, it is notorious in the United States where large cable companies will essentially chase out smaller companies or more commonly buy them. And then what they will do is once they've centralized an entire area under just their infrastructure, I don't know if it's a business plan or something, but 9 times out of 10, the service starts getting worse. The infrastructure doesn't get maintained as often. Like they basically move their resources to other areas. Once they realize they don't have to compete, they move their resources to places where they need to. And that just happens over and over and over and over. Like it's terrible. Now, of course, this happens in other places around the world, but it's a lot better in other places in most cases. It's capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's how they get around the monopoly shit, is because they don't get in each other's pockets.
Mm-hmm.
They're like only select, like only very rare instances you have a choice between functioning cable providers or internet providers.
Oh, and actually, to be fair, it's actually anti-capitalism. Because capitalism involves
Competition.
Competition, yeah.
The whole point of capitalism is competition. So in this case, they're abusing capitalism for their monopolies.
Yep.
I guess it'd be a better way. Abusing our laws, how our laws work for their own monopolies,
Okay.
which then destroy capitalism. I guess it's the lack of capitalism that kills it.
Oh, geez.
I've
that right?
decided I'm a one issue voter now.
Yep.
Make the internet like the telephone companies, like electricity, like water.
Yeah, utility.
Make it a utility.
Yeah.
Make it a utility for all Americans in the United States of America. Should be a thing that we can all get good quality for the same like price as everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking of quotes from companies that are ridiculous, or not ridiculous, but I don't know. You can judge this for your own. Matt Bibley, the executive vice president of strategic growth at EA, said 25 years at EA, and I still struggle with the external perception that we were just a bunch of bad guys. We love making and playing games. Unfortunately, when we make mistakes on games, the world knows about it because of its size and scale.
Yes. Now, what's also funny is Mr. Bibley there, from what I understand, is also one of the people that runs his indie center. So like the part of EA that's actually doing well. So essentially what Bibley is talking about is he runs the little tax charity portion of the giant evil corporation. So in his mind, he may be a good guy doing good things, and that's great. And he's very confused why everyone hates him for what he does. I don't think he quite realizes that he is part of 98% horrible evil machine that chews up and spits out good game devs for money.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's great that he feels that way, but and what he does may be great and good for you, Bibley, but EA is still a terrible, huge, destructive, terrible organization at the end of the day.
Yeah.
EA is a gang of people who just go around kicking people in the balls like super hard, and he's just going like, I kick them way less hard than anybody in this gang. Just want you to know that.
There you go.
Okay, somebody says, oh, come on, go. No, I mean, if you look at what EA does, EA repeatedly, over and over, prioritize money over pretty much everything else. And if they buy a company and the company doesn't make the money, they destroy it. They don't like it's just, they're not even evil. They're just so neutral. They're just so dollar centric that there's just no conscience. Games to them are not an art form. They're not something to be appreciated or played. They're to make them money. At least the people running the organization, not the people making the games at EA. Totally different. I'm talking about the people that are steering the organization. Those people are just money. That's why probably BioWare has got like a what, years, maybe months potentially. Like unless I don't know what BioWare is going to do. I will be baffled if they keep BioWare running after Anthem. Well, maybe after DA4. We have to see how DA4 does because they still have resources in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like seriously, just don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it that says EA is a big evil company. Go look at their track record.
Just do some research.
Great.
Yeah.
They started like other companies. It was awesome. And then they started making a lot of money. And then people started coming into the company that wanted to make money more than they wanted to make games, and that's when you can see it all right in front of you. Like, yeah, don't take anyone's word for it. Just do the research yourself.
Yeah. Also, I totally cherry picked that quote. There's a full interview on GameIndustry.biz where he does kind of like Code mentioned rather, talk about what they're doing with indies and everything going on over there. So that's kind of where he's coming from. Which, in that regard,
Good for him, dude.
yeah,
like
the
that part of the company's awesome.
with context, the statement makes a little bit more.
Also, EA does a lot of charity work. That part of their company is
Totally.
awesome. Like, they do good things in some cases, but when you're looking at the whole picture, it looks a little different.
Indeed. What else? What is it? I saw this headline. Didn't really do too much research because I knew Co was going to be here. CD Projekt Red is working on 3 different Cyberpunk titles. They're not.
Nope.
That's false.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It was a translation error in an interview. Basically, what happened was there was an interview where a guy said that there are 3 studios working on Cyberpunk, and what happened was the interviewer took that in a different language as there are 3 companies, 3 studios working on 3 Cyberpunk projects. What it actually means, what he meant to say, and they later clarified, was that there are 3 studios working on Cyberpunk. 1 project, 3 studios. So that's where the issue was. What they thought for a while and what set the internet on fire is they thought there was a Cyberpunk mobile game and an RTS and a BR and like all this like people were getting super worried. But no, it turned out that there's 1 project being designed. They have announced though that there are multiplayer elements in it. So that is another thing that's come out in the last little bit. So that has been confirmed. So now we know Cyberpunk is a single player adventure game. With multiplayer elements. So, and it's not like that's multiple projects. So I'm like, my guess is I was talking about on stream today. My guess is maybe there's like a multiplayer VR game, or maybe like when you race in the game, it's versus other people. Like maybe they've somehow found some cool creative way to bring in Cyberpunk players into a multiplayer environment when they want to be. But then, or maybe there's some kind of social hub system. Like maybe some areas of the city when you go into, like other players can be in there too. Like we don't this is all guesswork. We have no idea.
Who knows? Yeah.
But they have announced that there will be some form of you can interact with other players in Cyberpunk to some degree. Not the whole game though. It's not co-op or anything like that.
What if they call it Cyberpunk 2076?
You go to hell and you die.
No, I think it'd be cool if it was like a player interaction as like I'm not talking about the PvP of Dark Souls, but like the soapstone stuff. Like you can leave messages and shit like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Surge 2, by the way.
Oh yeah, cool.
In the latest gameplay demo for Surge 2, a very cool like 9-minute little thing for anyone interested in Surge 2. At the very end of the demo, they show that you can now get items to then put messages, show where loot is, show where secrets are. Like you can mark in the game world for other Surge 2 players, exactly like the Dark Souls soapstone system.
Is it what's the word that I'm trying? Like the Dark Souls stuff was like broad and like elusive. Like it didn't say, "Hey, there's a monster here to the left. Watch out." It was like, "Beware." You kind of had to like figure out. Do you know like how specific they're getting with the hints or anything in the system?
Oh, in Surge 2, it looks to be iconography. So where in Dark Souls 2 it was predetermined text links, this one looks to be using more of an iconography system.
Cool.
It's like like hieroglyphics, like loot, arrow, down, that kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Oh, like hobo sign. That'd be awesome.
Yes, very similar to hobo signs. In fact, funny enough, Sinking City is all about hobo signs. You have a special vision.
Oh wow, okay.
Special vision, and hobos will mark like buildings you can go into, dangerous areas, like where weird things are happening. And whenever you go into your like special vision mode, you can see the signs super easily. It's kind of fun.
Now I gotta ask because we're just killing time here. Did you know about hobo signs before playing the Sinking City Co? And Zeke, how did you discover hobo signs? What is the origin?
But I'm more interested in Zeke's answer.
I think it might have been on a episode of Twilight Zone, something like that. And then I went and looked it up, and I just looked up just a diagram of like this means this, like this man has a mean dog. You can get a meal here,
Oh.
You can sleep in this church, like that kind of shit. It's just really cool. It's like thieves can't.
Right.
Like, I've always liked that kind of like secret language between like vagabonds and shit like that. Also, a dude I met in a band that was playing a local band around town. I asked him about his tattoos, and he was like, "Oh, this is a hobo sign for like free food or something like that." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, hobo signs. They do the blah blah blah." Oh, cool, man.
Huh. Okay. All right.
That's fun.
Yeah. I didn't know. Today we learned. Or I learned. Maybe other people.
For me, and I think someone nailed it in chat. I think I first saw the idea of hobo signs like decades. God, I'm old. Like a long time ago when I used to watch X-Files. I think there was an episode that actually like talked about hobo signs a little bit. Because when I heard about it in Sinking City, I kind of vaguely remembered what they were, but not really. And then they kind of go into it a little bit in Sinking City, and I was like, oh yeah.
Oh man. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, remind me of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, that video game. Like, do they have the hobo signs in that?
I don't know.
Because it was about someone traveling like the United States via like just wandering.
I remember that game now. I didn't play. I think you were the only person that played that. In terms of the three of us, I'm sure someone in chat might be able to chime in, but I definitely did not touch that game. Well, anything else you guys want to bring up, or should we just do some shout outs and call it a show a little early? And next week we'll prep better and maybe figure out a game to play.
Yeah, we'll have a game in our back pocket next week.
Yeah, some Twisted Towers or something like that, something silly. But if there's nothing else, let's do some shout outs.
I got nothing, dude. I've been out of commission, and I worked one day last week, and I just watched a bunch of SGQ. So
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
real quick, one thing before we go.
Okay.
What are you guys playing until the next show?
Final Fantasy, just more.
Yeah, you're just like
Yeah.
What are you in Final Fantasy now? What are your goals?
I started leveling the second job like pretty much right away, just because I enjoyed It's really weird. I enjoy the music so much in that game that I want to be in those dungeons just to listen to the music, because there's no other way to, unless you're like listening to a YouTube video of someone running the dungeon. So it'll probably just be that type of stuff. And there's end game stuff, like you can do like the harder tiers of the two primal fights, they're not primals, but whatever. The trial fights, you can do those harder tiers, and there's some other dungeons at level 80 that I'll be checking out after the show today, actually. But yeah, just enjoying that game.
So are all the raids in already? Like is all of the
No.
content, are all the cards on the table, or is that like
Nope.
when do they come out? Everything.
So 2 weeks from yesterday, the normal version of the first part of the raid will come out. So I think that's 4 bosses. And then 2 weeks after that, the Savage version, like the hard mode version of that dungeon or that raid will come out. The 8-man raids, I should say. And then kind of everything's out for 5.0 after that fact, I think. There might be 1 or 2 other things, but...
And for those of us that aren't playing that may want to see those, you're planning on streaming all those cool raids?
Probably, yeah. The Savage stuff is like legitimately difficult. It's wiping nonstop and kind of learning the fights. So that might not be streamed, but there's not much in July, so there might be streams of that. But the normal stuff I'll definitely be checking out in 2 weeks for sure. It's actually Final Fantasy VIII themed. It's called Eden, and there is a garden that is crashed down that they've teased. If you've played Final Fantasy VIII, the gardens are like the big flying airship things. So we'll see what that really looks like. It'll be kind of cool. And then actually the 24-man raids, which I think maybe will start around 5.1, are Nier themed, Nier Automata themed. They actually got the director, whatever his name is. I forget the name of him. But yeah, he's working on that with them. So Yoko Taro, Yoko Taro. We'll be doing that stuff. So that'll come, I don't know, probably 3 months from now, 2 months from now, something like that. I'll definitely be checking that out, even though I've never played Nier. It might actually prompt me to play Nier, even though I said I never would, ever. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, just more of that, most likely on the channel. I want to try to mix some other stuff in. I kind of want to check out Mario, the Mario Maker. It's been doing pretty well. I'm not the best at those type of games, so it might just
Watching that Kaizo made me want to try some hard ass Mario levels.
Yeah, I mean,
I bought Mario Maker 2 just in case I ever get a wild hair up my ass. Maybe I want to do it for a Tuesday happy hour where I'm only do a short 2-hour broadcast or something.
I've been watching Trihex play. He's been jumping really full throttle into the Mario Maker 2 World. He's been a lot of fun to. He posts clips of levels that he beats and just shits
He's
on
been
world
jumping
records.
into it.
Yeah, yeah. He made a guy. He made a guy
Dude,
yesterday.
at Mario.
Yeah, you jump. You jump. Although
'Cause he
on
was
some
gonna
levels
be,
you're not
he was gonna
allowed
be
to.
Jump Man.
Yeah. He beat a level yesterday because he found like the developer skip in it that you're not supposed to find to beat the level. And before you could actually like finish it,
I saw it on Reddit.
the person deleted the level.
No, he apparently like got the world record, and then he was like trying to beat the world record. And while he was doing that, it's a hilarious clip because like you can see him going somewhere else, and then he jumps back and he hits the top, and this white shell comes out. And he just grabs it and hits the door, and then like that warps him right behind the end thing, and then he just jumps up and starts to jump into it, and all of a sudden it goes connection lost.
Yeah, there's been some good ones. There's been a lot of good ones. Good clips out there. Zeke, what about you? What's coming up on your channel? What are you looking to play?
I'm Judgment. I'm gonna try and get through that. I've been itching to check out my friend Pedro. So
I've heard good things.
I really want to look at that. I've heard nothing but great shit about it.
Heard it's a little short, but that's it.
Yeah, I think it might be a good indie game. I might just like start with that and then like not promise that I'll play another one, but have some backup indie games on Sunday. Also, like, I mean, you guys are like talking about game droughts and shit like that. I'm like, I got fucking CD-ROM games. I got old shit. I got like the nonary games that people have like, you gotta try. You gotta check those out.
Yeah.
And check those out. I've got Danganronpa. I've got fucking Doki Doki. Like things that people have been begging me to play forever and shit like that. So like, I've got like games in the stable that I'm not even gonna be able to get all of them.
We should be clear. New game droughts. There's definitely backlogs.
I know. I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking
okay.
I am firmly in your boat, Zeke, as well. I have like a laundry list of games to get to, and this drought isn't going to even chip away a third of that list.
Yeah,
it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Cole, before we get to what you're playing, we didn't talk about the Witcher Netflix stuff. Did you see those images? What have you given your opinion on it?
They looked witchery. I was pleased. Hey, well, you say that, but I was actually kind of worried, especially after that Guardian stuff.
Right?
I was pretty worried.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they looked pretty good, but I have to say that very similar to games, I don't really go off how flashy and stuff TV shows and movies are. I'm much more interested in the acting. I'm much more interested in the content. So, I mean, yeah, these pictures are cool and stuff, but they honestly, it doesn't make me even slightly less or more hyped for the show. Like I'm still kind of like, all right, let's see if you're gonna do this. You know, like don't, no matter how good those pictures look, if the show is not good, it's just not gonna matter. It's just not gonna matter.
Sure, makes sense.
We'll see.
My favorite part about Netflix tweeting that stuff out was the very, very initial reaction of like, oh my god, he only has one sword, they're ruining his fucking wit. And then like two or three posts before that was like, guys, they're based off the books, not the game. The game's based off the books. He only had one sword. The other sword's on Roach. And everyone's like, okay, all right, calm down, everyone. We're good. Whoa there, buddy.
There's books? What do you mean books?
Yeah, they freaked out.
Book exactly?
I don't know. Zeke, any thoughts on The Witcher? The Netflix stuff? You're not into it?
Nah.
Yeah? I mean, I'll give it a watch. I'll check it out.
Of course I'll watch it. I watch fucking everything on Netflix.
Well,
I watch documentaries on like moss and mold and shit. I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch it. But I'm not like looking forward to it.
okay. Speaking of, I forgot completely about this because it was such a weird thing. On Friday last week, Sony announced that they're making a live action Final Fantasy 14 show. And it was out of nowhere. But that's a thing that's actually happening. So
I feel like that's a nobody, Sony. We're making a Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like even super fans were like, "Wait, this is actually something that can happen." Like, what? What do you mean you're making a TV show based off of Final Fantasy 14 and it's live action? What?
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I don't know,
Are you
dude.
trying to,
Square
medium or something? Like what? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
Okay.
I'll like the like if the word got out to like professional Hollywood hairstylists and costume designers, they would be creaming their jeans right now.
Yeah.
Be like, "Woo! We all get jobs
Yeah.
because it's gonna be a fucking daunting ass undertaking."
It's true. It's true. Zeke,
I want to see humans in that crazy ass armor they got in Final Fantasy 14. They wouldn't be able to move, man. Oh god, it's gonna be great.
yeah,
It'll be great.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Zeke, I meant to ask you about this, or tell you about this on Roleplay yesterday. Did you see the Sandman stuff where it was like Sandman's getting a Netflix show, and then Neil Gaiman was like, "We don't. What the fuck are you guys talking about? I don't know anything about this." So now it's apparently not
Oh,
happening.
really? He said no.
Well, he said like
I heard that ages ago.
He
Like I
said
heard
some-
they were making a Sandman series ages ago.
I think
and
he
I
said
was like,
something to the
okay.
effect of like, "Yeah, I don't know where these quotes are coming from because I haven't heard anything about it or something like that."
Motherfucker, that shit would be way better than Game of Thrones. Fight. Sandman books are fucking life-changingly good. They're some of the
fucking
best
pre-post-
literature that I've
Come
ever
on, let's be
read.
real here.
What was that, Co?
I said, come on, let's be real. We talking pre or post season 6. Come on, let's get some real arguments going here.
Yeah, there's a pre and a post for sure. Yeah, Zeke, that announcement in itself got me to like look at the price of the Sandman trades to see if I wanted to like start reading it. But I didn't realize that book was that old. Like book was like late 80s, early 90s. Is that accurate?
Started late 80s and finished up, I think, late 90s because it went 75 issues.
Yeah.
But it's like get a compendium, get anything you can, just get like a collection of them.
Yeah.
Whatever, because they reissue them all the time because they sell still, I'm sure to this day, like very, very well.
It wasn't that
And
expensive.
especially with Good Omens being like as popular as it is, and people like even more people are getting used to like the name Neil Gaiman. Like, man,
Yeah.
Sandman is still probably gonna be, and it's rightly so. Like it's among the best comics ever written. Like
Yeah.
there's like
I mean, that's what everyone was saying
Sandman,
when I was reading
Watchmen,
about it.
Dark Knight Return. Like those are like the holy grail. And don't give me this mouse shit, the MAUS mouse. Don't give me that shit, the Pulitzer Prize winning blah 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 blah. That was a fucking awesome novel that just happened to have a picture. It's not a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great book. Mouse is great, but it just doesn't strike me as a comic.
I see. All right. I might check it out. Might jump into it. We'll see. We got Stranger Things on Fridays, or I guess Thursday now, so I'll probably be jumping into that next in terms of TV shows and whatnot. But anyways, let's do some shout outs and call it a show and get out of here. I got some bosses to kill, so we gotta leave. I gotta go listen to my music. Okay? Zeke, do some shout outs.
You bet. What's up, everybody? My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at or / Ezekiel _III, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I will be on tomorrow, or excuse me, I'll be on in an hour and 15 minutes from now on twitch.tv/Table Story. If you like role-playing shows, we're doing a show called Nocturne. We're in like, I don't know, 12, 13 episodes in now. And it's fantastic. You guys should check it out if you like Supernatural, that television show, except way more intense, but the same kind of like vibe to it, like ghosts and demons and that kind of shit. A lot of fun. But if you want to watch me play video games, I will be on at noon Pacific tomorrow. Continuing on with Judgment. It's starting to get really good. The story is starting to really ramp up, and I can't wait. And I might even try some drone racing because Ko made it look really good, and man, he doesn't do that very often. Thank you to Ko and JP for being great co-hosts, and Ammunition, I love you. I didn't mean it. I was just kidding.
Oh God. Is the Twitter drama afoot, Zeke? Is that where that's coming from?
I saw one person tweet
okay.
at her about it.
Gotcha.
Was it one of those ones where it's like, add at and oh my god, can you believe he said this about you? And here's the clip. Yeah.
Florida.
Okay.
Oh, no clip. That's the worst part.
Oh.
There was no clip, so no context.
Oh.
Oh,
That's great.
so he's a novice fire starter. I
Yeah,
see.
he needs to up his drama
Up
game
his
a
game.
little bit. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
No.
It
The
does.
clip including the clip would have been better, because then it would have showed I was obviously joking. because inflection
Oh,
and facial feed, like my the way
So
I
really,
said
what
it.
you're saying is everyone needs to tweet audio only and then
No,
cut off
shut up!
right when you
Stop
laugh.
it! I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, do your shout out. I'm taking over. Oh, shout outs. I'm changing the scene right now.
What? Hi. I'm Co. It's nice to see you. Thank you, as always, to Zeke and JP for a fun week. You can find me in the mornings. We just started our Borderlands franchise playthrough a couple days ago. We're going to be doing Borderlands 1, 2, pre-sequel Tales, and then back to 2 for the connective DLC before our big Borderlands 3 run in September. Hope to see you there. Also, all Borderlands franchise run, we will be doing different games in the afternoon. So we've got Judgment, which we'll probably be playing tomorrow afternoon, and possibly wrapping up soon. And then directly after Judgment, I'm starting Danganronpa 2. So if you guys want to stop by, I'd love to see you. Should be a lot of fun. Borderlands stuff in the morning, and then all sorts of different stuff in the afternoon. So thank you guys as always for watching. Hope to see you all next week and into the, well, pretty slow month we're going to have. So stop by and help us keep it interesting.
Indeed. Oh, yes. Thank you, Zeke.
Thanks,
Zeke, you want to close this out?
Close this out.
Yeah. Send us off.
What do you mean? What does it mean to play us out? You mean end the show? Sorry, that's an old meme. Meme.
Yeah, it's really.
That's a Bill O'Reilly old ass meme.
That was
All right, thanks
before
everybody for
memes a
watching.
meme.
Hold on. Let me get my glasses on. I gotta get my glasses on.
All right. Okay.
All right, and I gotta get the patented JP lean
You gotta do it. What is the
going on here.
What is that? This. I'm curious. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, this.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
JP,
All
wrong
right,
side.
Thanks everybody for watching. That's Drop Frames. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
I have to leave.